Looks like, and it's not a big accumulation, guys. This is not a big trade. It's just the Nasdaq, and the Nasdaq's obviously got the potential to knock trades out of the park, doesn't it? I mean, it's not the kind of market that you're going to be a shrinking violet from. It's one of those kind of markets that really can create some real market stirs, and that just happened to be one of them. We got lucky. I didn't know anything about that drop. I don't know anybody. We're not discussing whether we could have forecasted in advance. All we did was trade it, and that's all that's important. Is all we did was trade it, and we got lucky. That's the only difference, guys. But how do we get lucky so often? How do we get lucky so often? Because we trade often. And if we're in it when it breaks, then that's good, right? That's what lucky is, So we were in it when it broke today, and sometimes we're not in it when it breaks, and that's just lucky. It's not some sort of God-given right. It's not something we can come into and say, well, you see what happens when you do this or when you do that, because you could do that 10 times and you never got a break that size. We got lucky on the break. We got positioned for it. We were doing the right things. We saw the delta. We saw the value developing, and we got lucky on it. So that's all it is. Nothing more and nothing less. We were sell side business coming in. We had a very good divergence into the top edge here. I was selling it. We saw some deltas getting trapped. We talked about the entry price, the idea of coming back. We might not have got that price, and I might have missed the trade, right? You know what I mean? We might not have had the pullback. So I might have been sitting on the sidelines, and then it breaks, and then all of a sudden I've not got anything on it, and then I'm unlucky because I still saw the trade. I still saw what the trade was, in which case I would be unlucky. It doesn't make me a bad trader or a good trader. It makes me a lucky trader. I got lucky on this occasion. And if you got unlucky, okay, so you got unlucky. The market will throw things like this at us. It doesn't matter. This is what the markets do. This is their role. This is what they try and get you to understand. Is that when you see these trades, and what a nice measure it was as well. Is that not a good measure for you to work to? So you can see that it runs into this measure, massive volume arrivals, and all we do is bag our money for the day in that volume arrival there and say, thank you very much indeed. And you just bag it into this area, and it's already stopped the market in its tracks. We top ticked the Nasdaq, and we've just bottom ticked the Nasdaq. You couldn't make it up. And when you look at it, it's just pure structure, isn't it? The swing low to the swing high, giving you pure structure from that narrative. You really couldn't make it up, could you? I mean, it's that solid as far as a narrative is concerned. It's just simple market structure. And from that simple market structure, you can see the sell, you can see the sell idea, you can see the delta getting trapped, you can see the big price move, you can see the bounce off that target price, and that's just what good trading is. But the move was lucky. That's all it was. The move was lucky. And if you get lucky on occasions, well, you're obviously going to sometimes catch some of these, and sometimes you're going to get unlucky and miss the opportunity. And, that's just the way it works, guys. That's what trading is. I mean, there's a lot of luck in catching the big ones, but there's not a lot of luck in the fact that you're working for the big ones. So I'll take a few trades, scratch out a few trades, scratch out a few trades, but because I'm still working the bids and still working the offers, I'm sometimes going to happen to be in the market just at the right time when it makes a move like this. And we were lucky on this occasion to catch it. And tomorrow we might be unlucky. The difference is being lucky is worth X number of $1,000. Being unlucky is a scratch. Being unlucky is not being in the trade. It's not losing X thousands of dollars. Being unlucky is just missing out on a great opportunity that maybe you should have taken. And, gold's a good example of that. I was I can't say I was unlucky not to be short selling gold, because obviously, we got lucky on the buy trade at the bottom edge, which we had to work, and we got a beautiful $1,000 swing. But I can't argue that I was unlucky because I missed this move here. But I did miss the entirety of that move, right? I did miss the entirety of that move to the downside. Some of you might have caught it, in which case you got lucky, didn't you? Because I didn't think the value was in the sell. And obviously we got a very, very big sell coming in. So, yeah, we got unlucky. Some of you might have got lucky and got a very, very big winner. You made $1,500 on the short. I just was nowhere near it, guys. Nowhere near the trade. So, unlucky or good trading? Well, it was just good trading because it is what it is. I didn't think the value was there. If I look at it 10 times, I still wouldn't sell it at the top edge. I know what happens next, but I still wouldn't be a seller at the top edge. And that's just honesty, isn't it? You've got to be honest that, you can look at certain moves and say, yeah, why was I not in that? Because you see in hindsight. And then when you look at it and say, why were you not selling this rate? It was so obvious. It wasn't bloody obvious to me. It might have been obvious to Reeve. It might have been obvious to Ulrich. But it certainly wasn't obvious to myself. And that's because everybody's got a different opinion. Everybody's got a different view. Somebody might be looking at this on not taking into account, for example, the dollar. So does this look bearish if I take the dollar out? Does this top edge look bearish when I take the dollar out? Very bearish, right? So the top edge looks really, really, really bearish when you take the dollar out of the equation. So when you do that, you might then say, well, why didn't you get the sell in? Because it looks too good. It looks like a brilliant short sell. Because I can't just trade off of one value story. I've got to build a narrative. So when I'm building a narrative in terms of gold, the dollar is very valuable. So when the dollar is very valuable, then when the dollar's getting traded here, I'm looking at the dollar getting traded here and I'm saying, well, there's no way, there's absolutely no way when the dollar's getting traded like that I can take a shot at the sell trade. I just can't do it. So it is what it is. So it doesn't matter how many times, but some of you might not put the same weight on the dollar. Do you know what I mean? So for example, Ulrich might look at it and say, no, I'm not going to be bothered about the dollar for one reason and one reason only. Maybe because it's a data release. I'm not going to trade the dollar because, use the dollar for my gold trades because of a data release coming out. And therefore, I'm more focused on the impact it's going to have on the commodity space. In which case, you take the dollar off your considerations here. And you start looking at the impact that the dollar has on the commodity space. Recognize that it's bearish. And then start hitting the top line sell. And then when the top line sell comes in, maybe you've been lucky with that big drop. Well, I wasn't lucky. It is what it is, guys. It's just the reality of trading life, unfortunately, is that if you play it often and you play it well, you'll get lucky a lot more often. It's as simple as that. You'll get lucky a lot more often. So we wait for the next opportunity, don't we? We wait for the next play. We wait for the next one. I don't know, did anybody get some 15s on the oil? We gave you a box level. I don't know if anybody drew it in their charts. I gave you a big box level which ranged from 15 to 85. And I suggested that was going to be a buy location for long oil positions. So I don't know if anybody took it. Doesn't look like anybody did. But here's the trade area here. So we kind of highlighted this box to you. We drew it in for you. And we said the buy trade could originate from anywhere in here. So what are you trying to do? What are you actually trying to do? You're trying to find a lead in that area to try and get a buy trade on. And if you did that, well, congratulations. You've just picked up another $350. Nice trade. Don't overstay your welcome. So make sure you book a little bit of money here just now. Why a little bit of money here? Because this is the mid-price capper price. So make sure you book a little bit of money here. Not closing it and certainly not getting short. The value still looks as if it's a doable proposition to maybe run back towards the top edge in the short term. And let's see how it plays out, guys. Let's see how it plays out.